Golden Miles. To each one of our satisfied Chevrolet owners, every carefree mile on the road is a golden mile. It's a mile that enriches the sheer pleasure of driving and brings him back to our shop again. But service satisfaction depends on more than mechanical service alone. Yes, customer attitudes are formed by everything that happens to him and his car during each visit to the service department. Everyone who comes in contact with the owner or his car, or both, has a lot to do with how the owner feels about the entire service organization and whether or not he'll come back. Take Tom Henry here, a typical new Chevrolet owner. Tom began forming some definite attitudes about the service department right from the time he bought his new car. He was delighted with the product, felt he'd made a good deal and been a smart buyer, but he was concerned about service. But even before Tom put that first mile on the car, he was pre-sold on the service department by the new car salesman. He was introduced to the dealership service manager. Tom liked this personalized treatment. It meant he wouldn't feel like a stranger on future visits to the department. The service manager took time to explain carefully just what was and what was not included in the new car warranty and the coupon maintenance service. This helped head off any future misunderstanding about the difference between warranty and normal maintenance items. Well, when the big moment finally came and Tom slipped behind the wheel of his new car, his good impressions went right along with him. The car had received proper make-ready, was neat and clean, and all ready to go. Yes, those first miles of ownership were golden indeed. And how he enjoyed the reaction of his neighbors. This was a good moment that doesn't come too often in any man's life. But after Tom drove his new car only 50 miles or so, he began hearing a strange whining sound under the hood. New owners are very sensitive, as we all know. They often hear things and feel things no one else can. Naturally, the unfamiliar sound concerned him, so he turned to the experts for advice. But suppose that when he returned to the dealership service department, this is what happened.
That's right. Whenever I pull away from a light, I hear a strange whining sound. Thought you'd better take a look at it. The car's only a couple of days old.
Yeah, well, it's nothing to worry about yet. Why don't you wait for your 1,000-mile maintenance? We can look
but suppose it's something serious.
Nah, it's just your fan belt. Slipping a little, that's all.
Yeah, well, maybe it's causing some damage. Maybe it's something worse.
Look, there'll be a lot of other little things. We'll catch them at the right time.
Look, mister, a brand new engine shouldn't sound like that, and you'd better fix it right now.
Well, we were just supposing that this happened. Fortunately, the situation was handled quite differently at the hometown Chevrolet service department. The service salesman looked on this as a golden opportunity to treat this worried new owner properly and rebuild his confidence. Like this.
Your fan belt is slipping a little, Mr. Henry. Normally, we'd find and take care of that during your 1,000-mile maintenance operation. But since you're here, we'll fix it right now. Won't take long.
Well, I'm sure glad to hear it's nothing serious. I spent a lot of money for this car, you know.
I know how you feel. Just pull it right over here.
Notice the difference? He reassured the customer by giving him immediate attention. We all know that the first miles of ownership are tender ones and often need tender, loving care when these minor problems arise. Well, after enjoying more than 1,000 golden miles of additional driving pleasure, Tom came in again. Here is what happened. Tom explained everything he wanted checked. There were no serious or complicated items on his list, but the service salesman listened carefully and fully to everything Tom said. He made notes right in front of Tom to let him know what he was going to do to correct each item. And because Tom was already familiar with the Owner Protection Plan booklet and knew the difference between warranty and normal maintenance items, the fact that he'd have to pay for some of them didn't come as a shock. Tom's wife was favorably impressed by some other important details, the housekeeping of the department. No litter, oily rags, or discarded parts cluttered the service area. It looked like a suitable place to have your car taken care of. Tom also noticed that when other people drove his car, they acted as if it were their own. No jackrabbit starts, no squealing tires, no near misses with other cars. Yes, they both liked what they saw, and details such as these did a lot to make their miles golden ones. Then, shortly after 5,000 miles, Tom brought his car in for some needed work. This was another key point. Any unpleasant experience at this point, no matter how minor, could undermine an owner's favorable impressions. For example, supposing again, just suppose that something like this had happened during the 5,000 coupon service.
No doubt about it. You need a tune-up. Brakes need work, too, and a couple other things should be checked.
None of that's covered in my warranty?
Nope.
Well, what'll it cost me?
Not much. $10, $15.
Well, if you say it needs it, you're the expert. Can you have it ready by 4 o'clock?
Don't see why not.
Needless to say, Tom would not be feeling too good right now. As a matter of fact, the favorable image of the department in which he had so much confidence would become somewhat clouded. Let's continue with our supposing, and suppose this is what happened when Tom Henry returned to pick up his car.
Well, you've given me the wrong bill, miss. I didn't ask for all this work.
That your license number?
Yes?
That's your bill.
Look, I was told my car'd be ready at 4 o'clock. It's almost 5. I was told my bill would be $10 to $15. This one's for $28.67. Now, what I'd like to know is...
Gee, mister, don't get mad at me. I'm only the cashier.
Well, where's the man I talked to this morning?
He went home.
Then get me the manager. I refuse to pay this bill.
No need to point out what the owner's attitude about everybody in the service department would be at this point. The unfortunate consequence of this and similar situations is that unhappy customers turn to other dealers or to their corner gas station. Now, here's why none of this actually happened to Tom Henry when he took his car to Hometown Chevrolet for his 5,000-mile coupon maintenance work. First, there was complete agreement on the work to be done, the time it was to be delivered, and the approximate cost. Then, when the service technician started to work on Tom's car, he spotted some additional needed work. These were things he'd want done if he were the owner. So he told the service salesman about it. The service salesman called Tom, told him about the extra needed items, and got an okay to go ahead with them. He also told Tom that because of the extra work, the car would be ready at 5 o'clock rather than 4. Tom changed his plans accordingly, and when he arrived at the service department, his car and his bill were ready. No surprises, everything was in order. Tom was also fully prepared for an increase in his bill as a result of the extra work he authorized by phone. Just to be sure there was no misunderstanding, the service manager, who was on duty at the time, explained the bill to Tom. The result? Tom felt he'd been handled in a professional manner by fully qualified people. His confidence in the dealership service department deepened. As Tom continued piling on the miles, the golden miles of safe and pleasurable driving, his faith in the quality and caliber of service he'd received increased even more, and he never hesitated to speak a good word for hometown service to friends and neighbors. So it was only logical that when further maintenance was needed, somewhere after 12,000 miles, Tom came back. But here came a situation which is often the make or break point for many customers. The first service visit after the car is out of warranty. Now, just suppose that his visit had been handled like this.
My wife noticed some grease on my garage floor just lately. I thought I'd better ask you where it came from.
Too bad you didn't catch it before this.
Yeah, what do you mean, too bad?
You're out of warranty now.
Oh, by only 200 miles. On top of that,
Sorry, my hands are tied. Nothing I can do. Those are the rules.
Well, you can see what Tom's attitude about the dealership service department would be right now if this incident had actually happened to him. But we were just supposing. Fortunately, it worked out quite differently at Hometown Chevrolet. The service salesman who met Tom realized the car was out of warranty. But he also realized that the grease leak had to be repaired. If not by his service department, then by a competitor. And as we have seen, Tom has been a good customer and loyal Chevrolet owner. So the service salesman actually handled the situation like this.
Yes, Mr. Henry, you are 200 miles over the warranty. But you've certainly been a very good customer, and we appreciate your business. So we'll replace the seal in this left rear wheel.
By not giving the customer the brush off, by not flatly refusing to handle the out-of-warranty work, the service salesman certainly reinforced Tom's friendly attitude about the service department. And it paid off. In the months ahead, Tom not only enjoyed the satisfaction of thousands of miles of driving pleasure, but also was quick to tell others why they were truly golden miles to him. Yes, Tom Henry thought the world of his dealership service department. And when he decided that he and his family were going to see more of that world, he naturally thought of a pre-vacation safety and service check he'd seen advertised in his dealership service department. The service salesman, as part of his regular visual check of each incoming car, pointed out some minor bodywork that would improve the appearance of the car. Tom accepted the suggestions because he was proud of his car. He wanted it to look as good as it ran. And when he picked up his car, he knew exactly what had been done to it and how much it would cost. The car looked like new and also was in top mechanical condition. And Tom knew that it was made that way by the experts in his dealership service department. Tom was to think of that many times in the miles and months ahead. He liked the feeling that he was being taken care of by professionals, people who really cared about him and his car, people who worked hard to build good, strong, positive customer attitudes. Yes, everybody at Hometown Chevrolet Company knows that the miles leading from the dealership service department to the homes and business places of their customers can be golden miles. Golden for owners and golden for them. Golden miles that not only bring in new and repeat service customers, but golden miles that also influence customers to buy Chevrolet again and again and again from their dealership. Yes, golden miles of trouble-free driving are good for all of us.